Hello everyone, my name is Jesse Kuzmin with Concentrus, and in today's short and sweet video, we will be learning a very basic workflow function to set the main or header level, location level, onto the line level of the items. Now the use cases here may be limited for some, and most of the time this can be attributed to something in terms of either reporting or B, a WMS system you may be using where you need to set this. So we're going to do this using a workflow. So first thing we're going to do is go ahead and create the workflow. So I'm going to click new here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a name. Let's call it set location at line level. I'm going to go ahead and got some of this pre-filled out from the previous example I did. The record type, transaction, and then you can select the record type here you want. So I'm going to do it on a sales order, and if you can think of other applications for it, you could do it there as well. Let's go ahead and leave it in testing mode. I am the user on this. This is a demo account that we're doing it on. And I would like this to occur on create or viewer update. I'm not going to play with the trigger type here. I can do that down at the specific state and the actions. And in terms of context, this is at which point the workflow will run. So if you know already that you only want this workflow to ever run when it's done via the user interface, then go ahead and select that. Otherwise, leave this as is. For the purposes of this demo, we're going to use it at user interface. That does, however, mean that if you're bringing in orders through some kind of web service or integration or CSV import even, this will not run. So keep that in mind. Be very careful. Make sure you know how you're going to use it. So let's go ahead and click save. Okay. Now we're going to go into our first state, and we are not going to go into a new action immediately. Let's go ahead and click it and edit the state. And what we want to do is create a new sublist group. So this is a more recent enhancement in the last few years here that has been done. We want this to trigger after record submit. Very important. We want that to trigger after record submit. So we're going to set the location at the main level. And after we submit the record, we'd like the workflow to set it at the line level. Now, event types, if there's a specific use case where you only want it to happen once it's approved or when it's created, you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and leave all these event types on. And for my context, I'm going to go ahead and select the user interface. Now, be careful not to make a mistake because there is a user event script right above it, but user interface is what we'll use. And so let's make sure to select the item sublist, meaning this is where we're going to do the action. Now, instead of clicking new action as you normally would, which would pop up this window with all the different actions you can do on the workflow, we are actually going to click into Sublist action group. And what you will notice here is now we have a section here where we can add actions on the sublist. So let's go ahead and click on new action. Limited number of actions you can actually take here. So you can create a record, send an email, or set a field value. So if we're going to set a field value, and in this case, you can give it ID if you'd like. That's your best practice. Right? We are going to take the location at the line level, and we're going to go from field, which is our current record, which is the sales order, and grab the location main. Okay, go ahead and click save on that. All right, and we're good to go there. So you see it's added it as a new action here. If you had special conditions where you wanted this to happen, obviously you can set those, but we won't cover those here. That's just a basic setup. Let's go ahead and click save on that. Workflow set, I'm just going to give it a name, call it set location. And then if you do not want it to exit the workflow, meaning as soon as it's done, you want it to not trigger again, you can click on do not exit workflow. Otherwise, you can leave that unchecked. For the purposes of this demo, I'm going to check it. And there is the demo. Remember, we're in testing mode, so this will only work for me now. Let's go ahead and create a sales order on it. Now, keep in mind, this is a demo account. We have a few other workflows and customizations running. So one of the customizations that we have is that we are setting the location from the customer record, which can be done as well. Most of you will probably be manually setting if you don't have any type of customization on that. And also notice that we renamed location to warehouse here. But at the end of the day, this is the location field, the native location field. So if we went ahead and selected ABC company, and you see it already pre-populated the San Francisco location there automatically, and that is just on the previous workflow that we have, not something that will happen for you unless you set it. I'm going to go ahead and add an item here. And you will notice, once we add this item, that the warehouse column on the line level is blank. So I apologize, a little bit over to the right, but we have to scroll over there. But that is blank at this point, even after we click OK. It is not populated. Remember, our workflow was set for after record submit. So this order is going to go into pending approval. Again, other workflows that we have built in place, but that will not stop us from setting the location. So we'll go ahead and click save. Give this a second to run. Okay, it's gone ahead and saved. Obviously, it's in pending approval. Here is our warehouse location. Here's our item. And when we scroll over to the right, you see that the warehouse location is now populated on the line level. Now, obviously, you can see other uses for this. You could do this with other segments, your class, your department, any custom segments you may have. Anything that is at the header level that you also want represented at the item column level can be done there. Hope this video is helpful for some of you, and please stay tuned for additional short and sweet videos. Thank you.